Yeah. Oh yeah. That was so fun. Wow. Tree. Yes. You get to see Biff number 2. Hello, welcome to my channel. I have my Ripmo AF here, and some of you might be familiar with this place. And I have the MTB hopper in the back of my truck. So why am I here? So I've been watching these videos and been seeing, they've been talking a lot about popping and learning to pop. I don't have a problem with jumping distance and clearing jumps. My issue is I don't get very high. So this video is going to be you and me together learning to pop. So you get to see my progress, and I'll talk a little bit about what I've learned. Most of this stuff is coming from Lee Likes Bikes, and as I talk about it, I'll try it and we'll see if it works together. So let's get to it. Got to build the hopper. Okay, so here we are. I have my Ripmo and I set this up in the lowest setting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain a little bit of something, and then I'm going to start hitting this. So let's get into kind of what my issue is and what they talk about, and we'll start out small and then we'll just build up bigger and bigger and bigger and go from there. Cool. Okay, so the first thing is, let's talk about my problem. My problem is I always rode, mostly because I raced BMX, to try to clear things. And the idea is when you're trying to clear something, you go really fast and then you go off the lip, and then you do a little bit of pull up, or you let the lip do its thing. But then as soon as you go off the lip, you aim the front wheel towards the landing and try to go into the landing and make more of a straight arc from takeoff to landing. What I want to do now is I want to make an up arc and come back down and actually go higher than what the launch sets me up for. So in order to do that, I've been seeing this thing where they talk about row and anti-row. Now row is, think of a row machine. When you're on a row machine, you're seated, you push with your legs and you pull with your arms. Well, if I push with my legs and I pull with my arms on the bike, what that's going to do to the bike, I'll stand behind it so you can see it a little better. So I'm pulling with my arms and I'm pushing with my legs on the pedals. That's going to make the bike want to do this. That's row. So row makes the bike do this. And then anti-row is pushing forward on the handlebars and then pulling up with the legs. So if you're thinking on a row machine, you push with your legs and you row, and then when you're done with that row, you let your knees come up and you push forward. And so the anti-row is going to make the bike do this. So row does this, anti-row does this. So where it gets a little tricky is coming through on a jump. If I'm going to do row, I'm going to pull on the handlebars and push with my legs. And the idea is I need to do that as I come through the jump. So I compress back here, and then as I come off this jump, I'm going to start springing up, pushing into the ramp with my legs. And then when my front wheel gets to the top, I'm going to start pulling with my arms. And the idea of row is that I'm pulling with my arms and I'm pitching the bike this way, and then coming off. And when I come off, as soon as my back wheel comes off, I do the anti-row and level off the bike and then aim the bike for the landing. So sounds all cool, but let's do it in practice. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit this. It's really close. I don't have much distance because I'm trying to go for height, and I'm gonna go much slower. I'm not gonna go super fast at it. I'm gonna go pretty slow, and I'm gonna work on that pop, the row, anti-row. I have no idea how this is gonna go. Well, I have to say, that's kind of impressed. I need to go look at that video and see how high I actually got. Okay, so I did watch the video, and I noticed I did, you know, kind of come up and do a pretty good nosedive into the landing. Keep in mind, there's not much of a jump here. Let's do it again and see if I can get a little higher. That one definitely felt good. I need to move the ramp back just slightly because I feel like I landed way down there. But that one felt more controlled. And one of the things I did differently that I kind of forgot to do on the first one, so I made sure I did a good preload and then pop up. So I'm gonna slide this back a little more, maybe move you back a little more, and try this again. Okay, check the ramp real quick. Solid. I added some more distance. I'm gonna go a tiny bit faster, and I'm gonna pump and pull harder and see what happens. So I definitely feel like, considering the size of this kicker right now, it's not even set up high. I feel like I'm going pretty high, but I need to watch the video to see. But I'm compressing, I'm pushing with my legs, pulling with my bars as I go off, and then leveling off, and I feel really good. Like, control wise and the feel of the jump feels excellent. Whether I'm going super high or not, or high compared to the launch, I don't know. Let me watch this video and we'll see. Okay, so I watched the video, and I mean, I'm looking on the little GoPro screen, but it actually looks like I'm going pretty high compared to the launch. So this whole row anti-row thing might be the ticket for me, my brain anyway, to finally figure out how I'm gonna get pop. So I'm gonna set this up into the bigger setting, because what happens to me, and this, you know, this might be happening to you too. This is small, and when it's small like this, it's easy for me to really commit and do everything. But when things start to get a little bigger, as I come up and approach them, a little bit of nervous tick kicks in and says, whoa, hold on a minute. And then my brain goes, oh, you know, don't go so high, don't pull up so hard, whatever. Like, so there's a little bit of fear factor in there. And so that's kind of my next goal. So I'm gonna set this up bigger, pull it back a little more, not much more, because I'm going for height, not distance. And then I want to hit this hill and see what happens. Okay, I changed the angle up a little bit and added the bigger kicker. I just went right to the highest. I've jumped this thing a bunch of times, so I'm pretty comfortable. And hopefully, you know, it's the same kind of camera perspective, so height-wise, hopefully it's the same. I just like to change it up now because I feel like I always film from the same angle the whole time, then the video gets a little boring. Trying to be a little creative. I mean, come on. All right. So, same thing. I'm going to hit this. I'm going to preload as I'm back here. As I'm coming up the ramp, I'm going to pull up with my handlebars and push with my legs, and I'm going to try to keep that going as I go off and see if I can get more height. Let's see if it works. Wish me luck. I need it. So I noticed, let me get up in the camera here. So I noticed that fear factor that I talked about came into play right as I was going off it. There was like this little thing in my brain that said, wait a minute, and didn't allow me to like pop. And I also noticed it kind of went funny in the air and landed back wheel first, which means I don't really have full bike patrol. I used to be on the bike control. And so I'm going off the jump and kind of like through the air until I land, and that's not a good position to be in. So that little bit of fear can sometimes get you in trouble. Luckily this isn't big enough to cause any issues. But let me try that again without the fear, I hope. Maybe because I just did that for the first time today, but as I do it more, I might get more comfortable. We'll see. Don't be afraid. Oh my gosh. Boost. Like, I felt the bike, like, I didn't even expect that to happen. And the bike was like pushing into me. And I probably wasn't sucking it up enough because I just didn't expect it. Let me watch that video. I gotta see that. So, just like that, I like boosted huge. I felt like it was huge. It looked pretty huge on the video. I'll wait until I get it on the big screen, but I think my back wheel was definitely like up here. And you know, it's kind of like when you're coming off the lip, if you can get much higher than the actual lip, you know you're boosting at least somewhat. And I know people can really boost, like big boost, but for me, having just really started grasping this concept, that was big. And so in my mind, there were two key components. One, don't be afraid, which I said just moments before I went off of it, and I said it out loud for you to hear. And two, that compression. So I'm holding this in my hand, so I don't know, but you know, getting into that preload. And then here's what this theory causes, is because I'm pushing with my legs and pulling with my arms, look what happens to my body. I mean, you probably can't tell, but I shift back. My body shifts back, and that's what they always tell you when you want to jump high. You can't have your weight forward and sucked up against the handlebars. You need to push with your legs, pull with your arms, and that gets your weight back. And that's what allows the boost. I'm stoked. So I'm gonna play around a little bit. I did bring the Skydio 2, so I plan to put that up and just hover it and have it film me as I'm doing this a couple of runs. So sweet. Wow. Okay, so I did a quick slow motion one for you. I'm gonna get the Skydio 2 up and just kind of see if I can get some cool footage from that thing. Let's do it. Okay, so I have the Skydio 2 right there. I have it in hover mode, so it should just follow me as I ride, and it's not gonna move. The drone is just gonna stay in one place and film me. So let's see how this works. Kind of cool. See how it follows me. Now I'm gonna go underneath it and see what it does. All right, let's go get another one of those. So I don't feel like I boosted that high. I was thinking too much about what the drone's doing. All right, here we go. Big boost. Oh yeah. Oh, that is so rad. I'm like getting way more air time. So last year I was pulling this way back and going more distant. Here I don't have it that far away, and I'm going, I don't know, I feel like I'm getting a lot of air, and then I'm spending a lot more time in the air. That's super cool. All right, so I'm gonna have the drone follow me, see how that works. Let's just do it. Oh, I didn't pop very high. So the drone's following me. Now it's got to avoid obstacles, so it's getting all crazy. All right, now that I know what the drone's doing, I think when I say fixed track, it's going to be at that angle regardless of what direction, and I forget about that. All right, now I'm going to go boost high. Nope, that was kind of awkward that time. So now jumping's gotten a little challenging because I'm thinking too much about the drone and what the drone's doing than what I'm supposed to be doing. So here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna do a couple of jumps just with the chesty. And really just try to boost it. It's kind of weird in the sense that I don't have to make that much effort to get big air. And that, I'm not used to that. Like all I'm doing is pulling with my hands, pushing with my legs as I go off the lip. And right before that, I'm doing a little compression, and it still freaks me out a little bit, but I'm not doing a whole lot. Like, I don't feel like I'm making huge effort or pulling up or anything really hard, and I'm boosting pretty high. Like, it's kind of wild. That time I went quite a bit slower just for the sake of feeling it. I'm gonna pull this back and go a little bit faster. So in case you're wondering, that's kind of the distance. Let's measure it. And my feet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and most of my tire marks are landing down there. So I'm going a good 10 and a half, 11 feet easily, which is actually a good thing that I'm going only 11 feet instead of going way longer, because my goal is to go high, not far. Yeah, that one felt a little funny. Please like and subscribe if you like my content. Thanks for watching. Peace.